he had an opportunity to win, burnish his legacy, show that he can still perform at a high level. The Colts are going to be in transition. Chris Ballard was willing to work with Gilmore. Trades him to Dallas for, I believe it was a fifth-round comp pick. You now have him opposite Trayvon Diggs. You get Brandon Cooks, also on the cheap, who you now are able to plug into a really talented wide receiver core where you hope Michael Gallup is a year better. Now that he's a year further removed from the ACL. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb is a really good young player. He'd be the talked-about guy in that draft class if Justin Jefferson weren't also in that draft class. And they've got talent in the backfield. Zeke's gone. It's going to be more Tony Pollard. They like the young kid that they drafted out of Kansas. Deuce Vaughn. One of the great stories of that draft. And with Dak, you're hoping that he avoids some of the injury hiccups that they had last year through the course of camp. And then obviously he gets hurt right at the start of the season and misses time. They won a bunch of games with Cooper Rush last year. Mike McCarthy should have been a Coach of the Year candidate last year instead of having to hear the annual calls for they should fire him and go after Sean Payton and the other nonsense. No, I think the Cowboys are in a great position. They're in a challenging division. I said it yesterday, and you guys immediately jumped on me that they may have the most talented roster in the NFC East. That's taking nothing away from the Eagles. But the Cowboys are a very talented team. They got a really good D coordinator in Dan Quinn. It's going to be Mike McCarthy's offense this time around. Mike, as a play caller, is one of the best in the NFL. He's got the track record to show that. Regardless who the quarterbacks have been, you look at the productivity, you look at the games that they've won, you look at the number of different pieces that came through Green Bay over the years, Mike knows how to call a game. And he's still been doing it. Mike would still show up at the stadium way early. He doesn't wasn't doing the full thing with his play sheet and whatnot, but he was still going through and doing it like he was a play caller, thinking through different things. He'd show up at the stadium 6 hours before kickoff because he wanted to go through it. Now he's back into actually doing this and having this be his offense the way he wants it to run. They're not flipping the terminology because they want to keep things simplistic for Dak. But I have every reason to believe that this is going to be a really good Dallas Cowboys team. They'll have the same pressure that they always do because everybody talks about them. Yeah. Whether you're talking about them because you like them or whether you're talking about them because why are we talking about them? Stop talking about the Cowboys.
I feel that way a lot of times, Tom, by the way.